Hey, it's okay.
Stop, easy, easy. I'm Zach George. I train dogs, and this is my new dog, Inertia. I'm taking you along as I train her from day one. You can start from the beginning or pick up anywhere and start learning. Welcome to the Dog Training Experience. In this episode, Inertia is going to go to a dog park for the very first time ever. And I gotta tell you guys, I'm a little nervous about this one. If you have a dog and you want them to listen to you, you'll definitely want to sign up for 30-Day Perfect Pup. It's a completely free, comprehensive digital guide to the first 30 days of training your dog. And it will help you start off on the right foot with your new dog or get back on track with a dog you've had for years. It's completely 100% free, and you get video and email guidance from me. And there's a free app that will help you keep track of your training and make viewing all of my training advice on the go super easy. I'll have links in the description of this video to sign up for 30-Day Perfect Pup and to download the Pupford app. I'm really excited about today's lesson because it's a little bit different. We are at our local park. There's a dog park over there, and I'm gonna do some training with Inertia around dogs today. She continues to be unreliable when dogs are in our immediate area, so I wanna do some training to start to improve communication with her when there are dogs nearby. And I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do that, and it's something that you could probably do pretty easily in your own community as well. Before we get into that though, I'm going to give Inertia some time to adjust to the new setting. Let her look at the birds. You can see she's doing really well around birds. She's not barking or lunging at them. Inertia, come. Good job. Good. With a treat, she's very ready to come to me. And again, for a 6-month-old dog who has only very limited experience in public, I'm more than happy to pay her with a great treat in exchange for her attention right now. It's much more important that we create instances of success than it is that we start insisting she listen without treats. So my plan is to go over here to the dog park right now, which has a lot of dogs in it. And I have no intention of going inside the dog park, but instead, I want to see if I can have a successful training session in getting Inertia's attention on me in the presence of dogs on the other side of the fence. This is a brilliant way to practice in a really controlled setting around strange dogs that your dog has never seen. For example, just because she listens to me around our other dog, Indy, doesn't mean that she's going to listen to me around any dog. Let's go see what we can do. Come on, girl. The first thing I'd like to do, I think she's noticed the dogs now, is to see if I can get her into a sit, still many, many feet away from the dog park. Immediately, her attention is like, whoa. Hey, Inertia, can you sit? Can't get a sit out of her, so I'm gonna just hang out right here before I even advance further. She's checking out people as well. There's a lot to look at, smell, see, and hear around here. Did really well as someone walked by there. Appreciate that. You can see that nose really working there. She's really trying to gather information about what's going on around her and make sense of it in only the way a dog can. Let's see if she'll sit now. Sit. Oh, very good. Okay, and again, the reason I'm periodically asking for that sit right now is just to see how reliable she is in this setting. If she'll listen to me for a sit, even for a treat, that indicates that she's pretty reliable. There's actually dogs barking right now, and she's paying attention to it. Very good, Inertia. Yes. And I want to let her know, hey, I love that you're being civilized here with a loose leash while dogs are barking and playing only a few meters away over there. I think I'm ready to move forward now and see how she does being closer. Again, the closer our dog is to the distraction, the more challenging training is. And ultimately, I'd like her to listen to me no matter how close another dog is. But I can tell you we're a long way off from that. Okay, let's go. So now we're much closer, and she's being really reserved right now, really well behaved. You know, recently on Halloween, she was barking at the dog that went by, and she tends to do that on walks when we see a dog. I mean, she definitely is curious about dogs, and that's fine. So when we talk about desensitizing your dog to being around other dogs, this is precisely what we're talking about. In general, I like to do these in 30-minute chunks, 1-hour chunks, just hanging out, not doing a whole lot of anything. I'm not asking her for too much at all right now. I'm just trying to let her check the world out and understand that dogs are a part of it. And when she's behaving like this, I'm gonna periodically give her a reward to let her know I like it. I really like that. Good job, Inertia. Yes. There, she just offered her attention to me. Those automatic check-ins are priceless at this age. Do your best to notice when your dog is voluntarily giving you their attention, especially in the presence of dogs like this, and try to acknowledge that and let them know that you like it. We've been here less than, what, 6 minutes, 7 minutes or so? Let's see something. Inertia, come, sit. Can you wave? Oh, nice. Good job, very good. The significance of that is she's doing something a little harder than sit. In this case, wave. Wave is something I don't ask her to do quite as often. Will you lie down? Look at that, I'm standing completely up and she just lied down. In other words, I didn't have to point to the ground or lure her. So this indicates a semi-responsive dog. Let's walk over here a little bit and let her check things out. You notice how we didn't just run up to the dog park here. I very deliberately approached the dog park cautiously and slowly and tested very often and methodically before getting even this close. So keep that in mind. Taking small steps and testing often is required when you're trying to train a young dog like Inertia. See the loose leash here? Just feet away from the dog park. Oh, look at this. Now that's interesting. See, she was doing just fine, but now her hair is standing up. She's a little uncertain. She's like, wait a minute, I'm thrown off a bit here. It's okay. Let me see here. See, this is the kind of behavior that, while natural, we want to minimize. Let's see what happens if I call her. Inertia, come. Unresponsive to come when called. She's like, what are those dogs doing there? Inertia, come on, let's go. Over here. Let's go. I'm gonna assist her and we're gonna walk back here, just as you might with a 3-year-old child if they start throwing a temper tantrum. You know, you'll escort them away from the thing that's causing them to act undesirably. Good girl. I like the automatic sit here. Good job. You just never know what's going to cause your dog to react that way. And when she's in that barking mindset and she's really excited, it's real hard to communicate with her. And the only way I'm going to get more reliable with her is to work with her often in places like this. Let's get a little closer and see what happens. So there's a dog over here. I don't know if she notices this dog. There we go. Yes, good girl. Rather than waiting for her to bark that time, she was good when these dogs right here walked by. I was like, I'm gonna give you a treat for that. That's really good. We even have, oh look. Yes, good girl. Did you see how she backed away there? She's a little thrown off. It's okay. Yeah, good. Yes, good. Wait. Can you sit? See how she's reluctant to sit here because she's a little overwhelmed by the other dogs? Can you sit? There we go. Now I gotta sit, so be patient. I should also say that before I brought her out here today, I took a 30-minute walk with her. She had about 30 minutes of playtime with Indy where she expended a lot of energy. And I did that in the hopes of setting her up for success on this particular training lesson. So in other words, if she had just woke up and had a fully charged battery and was just ready to go, this would be a lot more difficult, I suspect. So here she wants to get closer, check things out. So I'm trying to do my best here to let her do some exploring right now. Training around the perimeter of a dog park specifically like this is wonderful because if your dog did start to react unexpectedly, you're in a really good position to create distance and walk away without the other dogs following you, so you can create distance. And distance is really very often the thing we have to modify when training a dog in order to get them responsive. Right now, I love how well she's doing. I'm not insisting that she stay. I just want her to behave, you know, rather civilized when a dog is nearby. Oh, look, he wants to say hi to you. Hey, oh, look, she's a little thrown off. How are you? See the puppy? Nice job, very good. She's curious, and she had kind of a guarded reaction, healthy nonetheless. Will you sit? Another good example, she started to bark, but I was able to get her into a sit, very close. It's unrealistic to expect your dog to just be perfect around dogs without a lot of training in my experience. Now, I've got to tell you, in general, I'm not really a huge fan of going inside of dog parks because there are so many different personalities and you just don't know if all the dogs are going to be good with other dogs. But I'm looking around here. There's not that many dogs in there, and they all seem to be doing pretty well together. So this might be a good opportunity to give Inertia some additional socialization experience. This will be Inertia's very first experience with a dog park ever. In general, I do more controlled socialization sessions, being a dog trainer and all. If you are going to do a dog park with your dog, I think it's best not to go to one that's too crowded. So maybe during off-peak hours, really observe the dogs before going in, much like we've done here, to see if anything causes you concern. Don't feel bad about leaving or not going into the park if you feel uncomfortable in any way. We're gonna let her check things out here. Just kind of smell around, take it in. She's a little nervous. You can see her tail's in between her legs. She's a little thrown off. I have a feeling she'll open up in a little bit. It's pretty typical of her behavior, like in puppy class, for example. She was like this initially. I'm just gonna give her time and let her open up on her terms. Good girl, yeah, nice job. This is also her first time being off leash in such a big area like this as well. We'll walk around, let her smell. What do you think? Pretty cool, huh? Her personality isn't such to just run up to other dogs and start playing immediately. She needs to take everything in. She's got a nice, healthy skepticism about her that I like. Oh, here comes the dog. You can see she's a little thrown off, but look at the tail. It's okay. Nice work, girl. It's okay. You can say hi. So I wanted to know it's okay to interact with dogs in certain contexts. Oh, see, and look, there. Now that's our first sign of her being very curious and checking out another dog. And I'm not going to have a strong emphasis on obedience in this environment, especially since it's her first time in a place like this. We even have some music in the background right now with that heavy bass, and she's reacting quite well to that too. That's another thing that can throw some dogs off and cause them to act uncharacteristically. Can I get your attention on me? Inertia, what's this? Hey. Do you want this? Want this? No? Okay. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Inertia, there's a puppy over here. And so Inertia has found a puppy friend there. Give the puppy some space. Inertia typically loves smaller dogs, but just like puppy class, if she gets a little too excited around them, I'll separate them temporarily to teach her how to behave appropriately around dogs that are small and delicate like this. Go play. You really want to play with this puppy? Go play with that puppy. That dog looks fast. So you can see Inertia's starting to open up a little bit. Oh, what's that? Oh, okay. So she's a little nervous there with a surprise. It's okay, good girl. She got a little defensive there, but she recovered really well from that. Oh, nice.
Hey, it's okay, it's okay.
Stop, easy, easy. So it's clear that Inertia is overwhelmed and a bit nervous about this larger, more energetic dog. I'll pick her up and give her a break, and I'll continue to socialize her carefully with friendly dogs that are larger like this one, so that she's more prepared for interactions like this in the future. And when a dog comes on pretty strong to her, she gets a little nervous and her defense mechanism kicks up a little. She gave some warning snaps there, but really it's important in those instances to see how does your dog recover. So I'll be watching for that right now, and she seems so far to have a pretty good recovery. Oh boy. Aw. When a dog comes on strong and fast to her, she doesn't like that so much. It's okay, easy. It's all right. Good job. Yes, good work. Good job. Oh boy. I know, those dogs are big and scary, huh? They just want to play. It's okay. So she's getting a little overwhelmed right now. I think I'll look for her to have another good experience here, and then we'll wrap up and end on a good note and maybe try again in the future. Want to go? Well, let's go walk. I'm loving how she's kind of staying with us as we walk. That rougher play style doesn't seem to be compatible with her, but here, dog's being a little more respectful and a little more chill. You can see she likes dogs like that, who are a little more polite and not so exuberant immediately. Even though her tail's still in between her legs here, she's a little thrown off, but I think she's just skeptical. But deep down, she wants to be friends and play with this dog, I can tell. Oh yeah, she's scared of this dog. She's staying under the bench here, it looks like. She feels safer there. She's more of a people person is what I'm learning here. She looks a lot more comfortable under that bench. I'm gonna let her hang out under there as long as she wants, just to take things in. She feels safe. It's preventing some of the more rambunctious dogs from coming over, and it's giving her a chance to really observe them. A lot of people have the tendency to really insist that their dog get out from under the bench and go play, but you've got to be really patient when your dog is new to a situation like this. It can be really overwhelming, very stimulating, perhaps even overstimulating to many dogs. And all dogs are different and will react differently when put in a situation like this. All right, Inertia, good job. You ready to go? I would say that was a pretty good experience overall. There's still some things to work on there. She definitely had some fear of that one dog when he came up to her, so that's something I'll be keeping an eye on and trying to manage, because her reaction was a little disproportionate in my view. But overall, she had a lot of really good experiences in there. So I'm proud of her. Good job, girl. Sign up for 30-Day Perfect Pup and download the Pupford app. It's all totally free and totally worth it. Subscribe to this channel and follow us on Instagram and TikTok for even more dog training content. My newest book, Guide to a Well-Behaved Dog, will help you with any training struggles you're having right now. I'll have all of the links in the description of this video. In the next episode, we'll be taking Inertia on a surprise trip to the beach, and we're definitely gonna find some training challenges there.